Margaret Kipe says, "As surely as we belong to the universe, we belong together. We join here to transcend the isolated self, to reconnect, to know ourselves, to be at home, here on earth, under the stars, linked with each other. Come, let us worship together." I invite you now to rise in body or in spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn. It's "For the Weaving of Our Lives." This is a song that's new to the congregation. It's from our virtual hymnal, Sing Out Love. But the tune is one that should be very familiar. For the Beauty of the Earth and other songs, it's that same tune. So I invite you to join in singing "For the Weaving of Our Lives." Hold on. We don't have the weaving of our lives on the wing of joy and grace. Warp of love that holds our hearts, lift of faith we add each day. All creation hears our song. We are woven, kind and strong. For the thread that each of us offers to the world's design, fabric of 1,000 hues, art and hand and soul and mind. All creation hears our prayer as we weave a world of care. For the web that binds us all gently in its tangled skein, babies cry and prophets call, strands of peace and strands of pain. Dear creation, lay that we yet retake our tapestry. Please be seated.
During this time, am I on? Yes. During this time when our country has initiated a war on another country, we light a candle for peace, for all those experiencing the horrors of war. We recognize that violence serves only to create more violence, war, generational hatred. Justice is at the core of our faith. Love is at the center of our values. May the light of this candle remind us of our call to bring justice and love to our community and to the world. We light the next candle in recognition of the Tamian and Muwekma Ohlone indigenous peoples, who were the first humans to inhabit and steward this land thousands of years before settler colonizers arrived. We honor the resilience of these indigenous peoples in the face of devastating harm, and we financially support the Muwekma Preservation Foundation and the Amamutsan Land Trust. We continue to support the integrity of the entire Uristak tribal culture landscape alongside the Amamutsan tribal band. And those who are on Zoom may light your chalice or the candle in your heart as we light ours. And you can write in the chat where you are today. You may join me in the words. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of service.
Body or in spirit as we join in saying our Unitarian Universalist affirmation, which we say both in English and in Spanish, as a reminder of the many languages spoken within this community and beyond its walls, the many languages of the soul. Love is the doctrine of this church, the quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek truth in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls may grow into harmony with the divine. This do we covenant with one another. El amor es la doctrina de esta iglesia. La búsqueda de la verdad es su sacramento y el servicio es su oración. Habitar juntos en paz, buscar la verdad con libertad y servir a la humanidad juntos, con el fin de que todas las almas pueden crecer en armonía con lo divino. Esto es lo que pactamos unos con otros.
Good morning. It's been a morning already for us. I don't know about you. We're short on orders of service. The printer ran out of black toner. And somehow Rev Matthew couldn't get it to print in blue. So here we are. We'll share. We'll try to tell you what's happening. So welcome to the First Unitarian Church of San Jose. I'm Marnie Singer, worship associate for today. I identify as non-binary, but I'm fine with she pronouns. Today, I'm wearing a jacket I made years ago for the wedding of one of my kids on this side, but this side is for my son's wedding. As Unitarian Universalists, we are united, not by our beliefs, but by our values. We come together in valuing equity, justice, transformation, pluralism, generosity, and interdependence, with love at the center. We strive to live from these core values, and we also try to notice when we've missed the mark and then learn from our mistakes. We begin again in love. In this congregation, we aspire to welcome all diversities among us, physical, mental, psychological, and spiritual. We acknowledge that we may have come from different financial, cultural, and educational backgrounds. We know we have different beliefs, and that's okay. When all are included, we learn from each other. When we together acknowledge our differences, we feel more connected. And now, let those of us in the sanctuary try to connect with the people joining us by Zoom. Looking at the screen, sooner or later, we may see their names or faces. And when the camera, which is there, is aiming at us, we can wave to our Zoomy friends. Good to see they got on. We had questions about Zoom today. Good to have you here. And now is the camera. There we go. We can wait. Hi, Bill. At the end of the service, people online are invited to unmute and stay for informal conversation. From the sanctuary, we go through the double doors to your right to our social hour for snacks, beverages, information tables, and conversation. I know sometimes it's scary to go into a big room with people you don't know, but some of us screw up our courage and do it. So, once again, welcome. It's good to be together. Wherever you are on your faith journey, I hope you will find something here today that feeds your service, your spirit, feeds your spirit. Boy, I could use an extra breath. May we all find something that feeds our spirits. And now, Guitars Aloud is going to do our anthem.
We have special guest vocalists, Reverend Matthew, Anna, and David, Ray, and Jim.
There we go. So this is a song, More of This. It's by Ashley Mulcair, who's part of Sanctuary Boston, which is a UU worship community that worships together and puts particular emphasis on music. And this song has been bringing me healing and joy and hope, gratitude for the past, 4 months or so since I heard it. I wasn't expecting to be singing it this morning, but Amanda isn't available, so here I am, and I guess it is my pleasure to be sharing it with you and to be stepping out from behind the drums and to invite my wife, who's also been listening to it, not quite as much, but a lot over the past few months, to join me in support. This is More of This. I'm following my nose, the path appears as we walk it. We'll know which way to go, can't go too far wrong. I mean, look at all this. Look at all this, what a gift, what a gift. The world is a miracle I want to fall back in love with. This is a prayer, if you're there, could I find more of this? The waves carry me in, salt water on my skin. I'm coming home. Close my eyes while you drive. Sometimes it's just time to go. Look at all this, what a gift, what a gift. The world is a miracle I want to fall back in love with. This is a prayer, if you're there, could I find more of this? It's the road, it's the sky, it's that look in your eyes, it's the touch, it's the kiss, it's the pocket of lint, it's a scrape on your knee, it's the knock on the door, it's the no, it's the yes, the kid in the store. It's the road, it's the sky, it's that look in your eye, it's the touch, it's the kiss, it's the pocket of lint, it's a scrape on your knee, it's the knock on the door, it's the no, it's the yes, it's the kid in the store. It's the road, it's the sky, it's that look in your eye, it's the touch, it's the kiss, it's the pocket of lint, it's the scrape on your knee, it's the knock on the door, it's the no, it's the yes, it's the kid in the store, it's the road, it's the sky, it's the gutter in your eyes, it's the touch, it's the kiss, it's the pocket of lint, it's the scrape on your knee, it's the knock on the door, it's the no, it's the yes, the kid in the store, it's the road, it's the sky, it's that look in your eyes, it's the touch, it's the kiss, it's the pocket of lint, it's the scrape on your knee, it's the knock on the door, it's the no, it's the yes, it's the kid in the store. Look at all this, what a gift, what a gift. The world is a miracle I want to fall back in love with. This is a prayer, if you're there, could I find more of this? Look at all this, what a gift, what a gift. The world is a miracle I want to fall back in love with. This is a prayer, if you're there, could I find more of this? And now I'd like to invite those who are young or young at heart to join me down here in the labyrinth, free for all ages. I got myself some hot water so I could have something for my voice, and then I left it up there. C'est la vie. No, I got it, but thank you. Where's So our story this morning is called Sustaining the Tree of Life by Lynn Gardner. And while I was reading the story, I was inspired by this picture that I found. It's from a village in Naounde, Mozambique, in Africa. And so this is a mango tree. A giant mango tree. I mean, I wish I had a mango tree that big. I just have one that's like, I just planted it, so it's still quite small, but wow. And that's, well, just like this tree here, the tree in our story stood in the middle of the village. The trunk was so large that it took 6 people holding hands just to reach around it. The roots were strong and wide, and its branches spread out over the village square, offering shelter from the rain or shade from the summer sun. Its fruit was juicy, sweet, and plentiful. The people of the village loved the tree. Children played beneath it and climbed its lowest branches. Young people knew that if you whispered your dreams to the tree, they were more likely to come true. People who proclaimed their love or friendship for one another beneath its branches found their relationships to be nourishing. And elders discovered that their sweetest memories could be counted on when they were near the great tree. The tree had been witness to so much, and when the breezes blew through the leaves, one could hear echoes of generations. Laughter, conversations, dreams, prayers, and songs. Animals loved the tree, too. Rabbits lived in burrows under the roots. Squirrels and monkeys lived in the branches, and bats and birds flew in to eat the abundant fruit. The tree seemed to just buzz with life. One day, a traveling merchant arrived in the village. He rested in the shade and ate 2 pieces of delicious fruit. "This is incredible," he said. "I would like to have some to sell in the next villages that I visit. Who owns this tree?" "No one owns this tree. If anything, we belong to it." "Well, then if no one owns this tree, then no one will mind if I pick the fruit," said the merchant, and began to fill a basket. "I mind," said the villager, "and today I am keeper of the tree." "What do you mean, keeper of the tree?" "Well, we each take our turn being here with the tree. We could never own it. We are just here as protectors, as sustainers." "That's ridiculous. The tree doesn't need you. You could just take what you need, take what you want. The tree will continue." But the villager couldn't be persuaded. "Sir, this tree isn't like that. We don't come here to take from it, even though we receive much. We are keepers of the tree because this is where we are nourished. This is where some of our most precious memories are. This is where our people have dreamed. This is where we remember who we want to become." "Well," said the merchant, "you may think this tree is very special, but it still doesn't need you to sit with it. That's preposterous." "Ah," replied the villager, "the tree itself may not need me. But what of others who come by? Just this morning I was able to sit with a woman whose heart was heavy with worry. Had I not been here, she would have had to carry that weight alone. And this afternoon, a tired couple came by and they sat with me and rested. They said they'd been looking for a place like this. And then an elder came by and we watched the birds in the branches together. And now here you are. And you were confused about what this tree is and how to be with it. Imagine if you had arrived and not found anyone here to talk with. You might have continued thinking that everything you do is all about you. But luckily for you, I'm here to let you know that when you care for the tree of life, my friend, it becomes about so much more than just you." And the merchant sat for a while in the shade, thinking about these new ideas that felt a little challenging. And as the sun went down, he picked up his bag with just a few mangoes and headed out of town, whistling, or pieces of fruit. I guess it's not a mango tree. I just did that in my head. As the sun went down, he picked up his bag and whistled a song that he hadn't heard of in years. And on his way, he shared a smile with each person he met, his heart feeling strangely light and joyful. And the people of the village, they continued to sustain the tree of life, to care for one another, and to share their gifts with grace and gratitude. May it be so for each of us. Thank you for joining me. Before our children go off to their religious education classes, let's sing our blessing song. There's some hand motions which you can join me in doing if you know them, and even if you don't, you can probably still pick it up. They're pretty simple.
Reverend Matthew told. I knew Lynn Gardner at seminary. We were there at the same time. For those who don't have an order of service to know, this is the time for the offering. We pick fruit from trees we did not plant. We drink water from wells we did not dig. This is as it should be, so long as we dig and plant for those who come after us. This church is here because of the offerings of generations before us. Let us invest in the future with this morning's offering. Whether you're on Zoom or in the sanctuary, you can donate electronically, and a slide on the screen should give you what you need to know. We pass the plates in the sanctuary for those who give coins or paper. Please give what you can. And remember, if your presence is all you can give us today, that is enough. You are enough.
To the work of the church, which is making love visible in all we say and do, we dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings. So last week I tried to share a video with you. Rather, I shared the video, but we couldn't get the sound to work. Conveniently, it's a video that also works for this week's service. It's a song called "We Are All Connected" by Symphony of Science, and it features the words of several scientific communicators of the past 50 years or so. Richard Feynman, Bill Nye the Science Guy, Carl Sagan, and Neil deGrasse Tyson, none of whom are singing but are auto-tuned, so it sounds like they are. This, I invite you to enjoy "We Are All Connected."
We're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe atomically.
I think nature's imagination is so much greater than man's. He's never gonna let us relax.
We live in an in-between universe where things change alright, but according to patterns, rules, or as we call them, laws of nature.
I'm this guy standing on a planet. Really, I'm just a speck. Compared with a star, the planet is just another speck. To think about all of this, to think about the vast emptiness of space, billions and billions of stars, billions and billions of specks.
The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. The cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself.
Across the sea of space, the stars are other sun. We've traveled this way before, and there is much to be learned.
We're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe
I
atomically.
find it elevating and exhilarating to discover that we live in a universe which permits the evolution of molecular machines as intricate and subtle as we.
I know that the molecules in my body are traceable to phenomena in the cosmos. That makes me want to grab people in the street and say, have you heard this?
The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. The cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself.
There's this tremendous mass of waves all over in space, which is the light bouncing around the room, going from one thing to the other, and it's all really there, really there. But you gotta stop and think about it, about the complexity to really get the pleasure. It's all really there, really there. The inconceivable nature of nature. To think about all of this, to think about the vast emptiness of space, billions and billions of stars, billions and billions of specks.
The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. The cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself.
Across the sea of space, the stars are other sun. We've traveled this way before, and there is much to be learned.
Wow. And there is much to be learned. Brian and I recently went on a cruise from Seattle to the inner passage of Alaska and back. The trip expanded my awareness of connections to everything, to individual people, to the creative human drive to expression and the arts, to the diversity of living things all over the earth. For years, I had not wanted to be a tourist in a different culture because I didn't want to be an ugly American. But for this Alaska trip, I tried to stretch myself. I set my intention on being open and sensitive. I wanted to learn. I'd heard about the beautiful Alaska scenery and the glaciers. Yes, I did take some photos of mountains and sunsets. But for me, things that were closer up were truly heart-opening. Plants that looked sort of familiar, but not really, which piqued my curiosity. Learning about the richness and beauty of totem poles and other native artwork. The people we got to know over dinner and in small groups, as well as the onboard naturalist. One person particularly touched me, our onboard cultural heritage guide. He was a fascinating man who did not look like a stereotypical Alaska native. His African-American father from South Carolina met his Yupik Inuit mother while stationed in Alaska. Because it's a matrilineal culture, Alaska is where he grew up. I never learned to say his Yupik name because the sounds were guttural and unfamiliar to my ears. I learned later his English name was Stephen Blanchette. I will refer to him as Stephen, even though it just doesn't quite feel right. When not on a cruise ship, Stephen is a musician and performer in a group he formed with his brother called Bamyua. Just to give you a taste, let's see if we can show the beginning of a short video about Bamyua, narrated by his brother Philip.
I am a part of a group called Bamyua. We call it Inuit. I am a part of a group called Bamyua. We call it Inuit Soul because we are inspired by Inuit culture. But really what we want to do is soul music. It's like music that means something, music that moves you from the soul. Bamyua is an Inuit word, and specifically a Yupik word, and it means encore, do it again.
I can almost feel his presence. I was indeed moved to the soul by the drumming, dancing, and stories Stephen shared. I want to relate one story he told, which moved me deeply. I can't quite do it justice because I'm telling it third hand through my filter, but let me try. Stephen had emphasized that bears are considered family to the Inuit. They never set out to kill a bear. But one day, when he was walking with a friend and carrying a shotgun, a bear confronted them. The friend did exactly what he should not have. he started running away, and the bear gave chase. Try to imagine yourself in that situation, heart pounding in terror, seeing the bear chasing your friend and knocking him down. Stephen took the gun and shot the bear in the haunches, and the bear fell. Stephen got closer and shot again, killing the bear. Can you imagine what that felt like? I can't. It's so far from my experience, and yet I can try to imagine terror even larger than any I have ever felt. I can certainly imagine thinking, now what do I do? Stephen lay down on the ground next to his friend, saying nothing, just being present, feeling the ground beneath him and his friend at his side. 3 minutes of silence passed. And then the friend blurted, "You could have killed me!" And they laughed together. His friend was beaten up, but he was okay. But then Stephen said they had to figure out how to dress a bear. And for those of you who aren't hunters, that means cutting it open and preparing to take it away. It turned out to be not too different from dressing the game that they had hunted for food. And once they had the bear skin off, he said, it was remarkable to see how much the bear looked like a person, like part of the family, a brother. We are all connected. And by sharing stories, we deepen our connections. We deepen our awareness of our connections. We are all connected.
We come together in community to share with one another, to support one another, and to celebrate with one another. One of the ways we honor our connections is by sharing our stories of what's going on in our lives. And so as we enter into this time of sharing joys and sorrows, as we begin, we know that there are both great sorrows and great joys in our world that must be acknowledged as well. And so, we light our first candle to honor those in pain, victims of violence and war and oppression all around our world. We light a second candle because we understand that in the midst of that pain, there is also celebration and joy in our world. We honor that joy and sorrow are woven together. If you have a joy or a sorrow that you'd like to share, please come forward, lining up around the back here to light a candle. You may also simply light a candle in silence. This is a time for the tenderness of what is in your heart, not a time for announcements or political speeches, knowing that this is the wholeness of their lives and be received with love. After the service, you're also invited to stop by the pastoral care table in the Hattie Porter Hall, where you can write in our book of joys and sorrows or talk to our pastoral associate of the week. You can also email pastoralassociates@sanjoseuu.org at any time. Remember that you are not alone. I invite you to join me now in a spirit of meditation or prayer. To find a comfortable position. Maybe that means closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Noticing your breath. That thing that connects us to all life on this planet. I offer these words from Reverend Lynn Cox. Spirit of life, who draws us together in a web of holy relationships, make your presence known with us and in us and among us. Remind us that we are not alone in history. Ignite us with the courage of the living tradition. Remind us that we are not alone in entering the future. Anchor us with patience and perseverance. Remind us that we are not alone in our times of grief or pain. Comfort us with your Spirit, manifest in human hands and voices. Remind us that we are not alone in joy and wonder. Inspire us to honor and extend the beauty we find in this world. Divine music of the universe, let our hearts beat in diverse and harmonious rhythms, cooperating with an everlasting dance of love. May we move with the rhythms of peace. May we move with the rhythms of compassion. May we move with the rhythms of justice. Source of stars and planets and water and land, open our hearts to all of our neighbors. Open our souls to a renewal of faith. Open our hands to join together in the work ahead. So be it. Blessed be, and amen. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. Go ahead and sing that with me. Rest in this love. We rest in this love. For me, my spirituality arises from our interconnectedness, our interdependence with the whole of creation. You might call that the spirit of life. You might call that God. You might call that the love that holds us. One of our shared values, all centered around love at the center, one of our shared values as Unitarian Universalists is interdependence, of which our value statement says we honor the interdependent web of all existence. With reverence for the great web of life and with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. And before we adopted those shared values a couple years ago, interdependence was part of our seventh Unitarian Universalist principle, respect for the interdependent web of existence, of which we are a part. Now, someone once pointed out to me that the end of that principle, of which we are a part, is actually redundant, because we just said it was the interdependent web of all existence. So, of course, we're part of it. And the fact that we needed to explicitly say that we are part of the interdependent web lets us know that maybe we don't fully grasp it. That we humans have a tendency to think of ourselves as separate from the rest of the web of life. I mean, think about it. When we talk about animals, we usually don't include ourselves in that category. And to refer to a human, another human, as an animal is usually intended as an often racialized slur. He was behaving like an animal. Yet, of course, we humans are animals. We are cousins with other primates. And as we go back on the evolutionary family tree, we can see we share a common ancestor with all mammals. As Marnie talked about in her story with the skin off, a bear looks remarkably like a human. And going further back than that, we are related to all animals of this earth. The finned, the furred, the winged ones, the four-legged, two-legged, the slitherers and crawlers. And going way, way back, some 3.4 billion years to those first single-celled organisms, we realize we have a direct connection to the whole web of life. It's astounding to think about that all living beings on this planet are our kin, are our relations. And if we went about thinking in those terms throughout our lives, throughout our days, how would that change our perspective? How might that change the way we live? Perhaps, if we can hold that perspective, it would help us to see that nature is sacred beyond just its usefulness to us. Like the people in our story this morning who saw themselves as the stewards of the tree of life, which had given them so much. They did not take, they received. We can see ourselves in all of creation. And I think it goes a little bit deeper. The environmental activist John Seed described it thus: I am protecting the rainforest, develops into I am part of the rainforest, protecting myself. Now that might seem a little woo-woo or out there, but it's rooted in truth. Whether one thinks about it as coming from that distant, single-celled ancestor or going further back to the Big Bang, we see we are made up of star stuff. That's science. And of course, we can also find it in spirituality. Indigenous practices and beliefs around the world remind us of our place in the web of life. Robin Wall Kimmerer, a distinguished professor of environment and forest biology and member of the Potawatomi Nation, writes in her book, Braiding Sweetgrass, each person, human or no, is bound to every other in a reciprocal relationship. Just as all beings have a duty to me, I have a duty to them. If an animal gives its life to feed me, I am in turn bound to support its life. If I receive a stream's gift of pure water, then I am responsible for turning a gift in kind. An integral part of a human's education is to know those duties and how to perform them. In indigenous circles, that's often referred to as original instructions, those which were given to the people by their Creator. You can hear it in the Hindu and Buddhist and Jain greeting, Namaste, which roughly translates to the divine in me recognizes and honors the divine in you. Put another way, the divine creation that resides within me also resides in you. We are all connected. We are all part of the same source. We all share the same source. One of the central teachings of Buddhism goes, I think, even further, is that separateness is actually an illusion. And seeing ourselves as separate is at the root of so much suffering in the world. War, racism, ecological destruction, these are fueled by the illusion of separateness from other human beings, from the web of life. Unitarian Universalist minister Mark Morrison Reed says, the central task of the religious community is to unveil the bonds that bind each to all. There is a connectedness, a relationship discovered amid the particulars of our own lives and the lives of others. Once felt, it inspires us to act for justice. It is the church that assures us that we are not struggling for justice on our own, but as members of a larger community. The religious community is essential, for alone our vision is too narrow to see all that must be seen, and our strength too limited to do all that must be done. Together, our vision widens, and our strength is renewed. To me, I also see that reflected, that sense of interdependence and what we are called to do in the second part of our shared value of interdependence. With our values, each part has a definition and then a call to action that arises out of that value. For interdependence, it is this: we covenant to protect Earth and all beings from exploitation. We will create and nurture sustainable relationships of care and respect, mutuality and justice. We will work to repair harm and damaged relationships. That is beautiful and slightly distracting. And so, with so much broken in our world, between our human siblings, as well as that wider web of life, which we are inextricably a part of. It is good to be together, to be part of a community that calls us, that reminds us to notice that interconnectedness, to notice that interdependence, and to work towards justice. Sometimes it's difficult to look at all that is wrong in the world. Oftentimes, it is difficult to look at all that is wrong in the world. It weighs heavily on our hearts. And yet, it is through acknowledging our interdependence, of turning towards those challenges and working to bring more justice and equity, to recognize that interdependence, that we actually begin to transform. As Robin Wall Kimmerer says, action on behalf of life transforms, because the relationship between self and the world is reciprocal. It is not a question of first getting enlightened or saved and then acting. As we work to heal the earth heals us. There's this idea that many environmentalists have, this idea that the earth does not love us. Kimmerer says that's not true. The earth shows its love for us in so much beauty, in complementary colors. The way we see these colors that often pair together in flowers, yellow and purple, often go together in flowers beautifully. The joy one can get from seeing something grow. There's something about being in nature that improves our mental health, our physical health, our well-being. We don't really understand it fully. When we work for earth, when we work for the whole, when we work for those who are dealing with situations of grave injustice, we make the situation better not just for them, but for ourselves as well. And so at this time, when so much is wrong, so much is hurting, may we work together to build a more just world for ourselves, for each other, for all of it, so that we might all flourish together. May it be so. A couple quick announcements. Next Sunday is Viva Calle. So we'll have even more fun stuff happening in the park across the street next week. It's actually going to be an activity hub. So St. James Street is going to be shut down here. You should still be able to get access to the street directly in front of the church. The block directly in front of the church will probably be shut down since it's one way and St. James is closed. But you should be able to get to the 3rd Street parking garage via Santa Clara Street. Also, we're going to have a booth. Since one of the activity hubs for Viva Calle is right here at St. James Park, our membership and connections team and RE committee are going to be working to staff a booth throughout that. I know membership and connections in particular could use some volunteers. And so if you want to do that, you can do that over at the welcome table after the service, or email Madeline or Connie. Information about that is in the order of service. And then 2 weeks from now is our the Unitarian Universalist Association's General Assembly, which is the annual gathering of Unitarian Universalists from across the country, and indeed gathering from across the world, are going to be gathering together. And so there's a big Sunday morning worship. It's going to be live streamed. So you can watch it on your own if you want on YouTube. That'll be available, especially if you want to get an early start to the day. It'll be on at 8 a.m. because that's 11 a.m. Eastern time. But if you'd like to come be here in person and, just there's something about being a community and especially singing together. So we'll be showing that service on our nice, beautiful screen. So either one, you're welcome to join us for. If you're joining us, there will not be any Zoom version of that service, since we're basically streaming. So that's it for announcements. And now I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and join me in singing our closing hymn. It's number 1052 in your teal hymnal. And I would recommend that this is a song that's probably unfamiliar to just about everyone. It's a song called The Oneness of Everything, that if you have a hymnal, I would invite you to pull it out, because it will probably be a little bit easier to follow along. It's not too hard to sing, but it's not too easy either. So if you want to have a little additional assistance, again, it's number 1052 in your teal hymnal, The Oneness of Everything, and we'll be singing verses 1 and 2. Far beyond the grasp of hands, or like to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind. There find the key to nature's harmony in an architecture so entwined. Patterns grace the sky and carry all who join in love expanding. The message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings. In the oneness of everything. Peace is in the dance of trees who stir before the first breath of wind is yet perceived. Trust in the song becoming one with the dance, and all mysteries can be believed. Songs of life long past that touch our own invite you to now reach out as you feel comfortable to take a hand or bump elbows, touch a shoulder, make a connection with someone nearby you. To those of you joining us on Zoom, we send our energy out to you and invite you to send your energy back to us. These words from Norman V. Naylor. Reminded that we are part and participants of the universe, let us go forth from the quiet of this hour, encouraged to strive toward faithfulness to the best in ourselves, in others, and in the whole creation. May it be so.